we had planned a new conference of the Schiller Institute actually since quite some time. But then came the pandemic. So we were, wondering what should we do? Can we have the conference? And then when it became clear that there was no way to have it, we switched it and said, let's have an internet conference, which is now technically quite feasible. And let's have a program which is what we would want the G20 to discuss, or what we would want the four presidents of the largest countries in the world, what should be on the agenda. We are in the process of getting very, very extraordinary speakers. I cannot reveal you the names of these now, because that is always, a process of getting it all together before you publish it. But I can already tell you this will be a top level of people who all agree that the world needs a new paradigm. So this conference will not be so much on analysis. It will have some, naturally, but it will really be the effort to think, how can mankind give itself principles which make it possible for us to exist as a species for, eternity, really, because, mankind is the immortal species of the universe, or it must be. And therefore, we have to think how we can give ourselves principles to live on which make that possible. And I'm absolutely certain that if you look in the great traditions of all cultures and nations, you find such principles. The Chinese call it the mandate of heaven, cosmology. The Indians call it cosmology. In European tradition, it's called natural law. The idea that there are laws given in the creation, in the physical universe, which exist independent of positivist decisions of men making laws, but these are higher laws because they are part of the physical universe, or part of creation, if you want to say it like that. So we have 4 panels. The first will be on strategic matters, on international relations, how to improve relations among nations in such a way that you eliminate geopolitics and war as a means of conflict resolution, and how you establish a different relation to each other based on sovereignty, on the respect for the creative nature of the other culture, and things like that. Then we will have a panel on culture, which will address the need to get rid of those cultural aspects of our last decades, especially in Europe and in the United States, and as it spread from there to other parts of the world, which were degenerate because we are in a decadent culture, and how to get a classical renaissance based on the most beautiful ideas which were produced by all nations of this world, and how these can enter a dialogue. Very special emphasis on classical music, because we have the year of Beethoven. And, my husband has written many, many articles, I think altogether 140 articles about classical music. And there are many people now in this crisis who start to play classical music from balconies in Italy, in Germany, elsewhere. So there is a desire to go in a crisis like that to profound and beautiful ideas. Then naturally we will have a science panel that will discuss along, the issues raised by Keisha earlier, how to find solutions to pandemics, to the threats to our planet, how to find international cooperation in all of these ideas. And then we will have a 4th panel to discuss the science of physical economy as it was developed by Lynn, but also, how it developed from Leibniz, the American system of economics, and why is it that the Chinese economic model is so much closer to the origins of the American system than most people would think, and naturally how to implement now a new world economic order. So this is just a very rough outline. And given the fact that it's an internet conference, you can help building for it, the audience, save the date. People can start to, make sure they have time on this weekend of the 25th and 26th of April. And, we plan this conference to be a major intervention to shape the discussion, how should the world get out of this crisis? And there we want to invite all of you to start thinking about it already now. How should the world come out of this crisis? What should be the principles? And that is one of the most fruitful things one can think about why the crisis still goes on.